Every single industry in the world has been affected in some way by COVID-19. Retail stores have been shut down. Tourist sites have been closed. Barbers are buying those chia heads just to keep up their skills. And one industry that needs to remain open in order for us to survive is the food industry. But now the virus is coming for that too.
The food supply chain is breaking. That's the warning in a full-page ad from Tyson Foods, released in the New York Times. It comes after one of the country's largest meat processors closed a massive pork processing plant in Iowa because of a coronavirus outbreak.
A USA Today investigation found 150 of the nation's largest plants are in counties where the infection rate is spiking, threatening not only workers, but potentially the food supply.
This morning, with beef increasingly scarce, President Trump promising to take action, signing an executive order under the Defense Production Act to ensure processing plants stay open and run at the maximum extent possible.
You know, I'll say this about Trump. He is very clear about what his priorities are in life. Because he was warned for months about the pandemic coming to America, and he did practically nothing. But you tell the man once that there could be a beef shortage, and he springs into action like the world's hungriest superhero. Dun, 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 dun. But that's Trump, man. If there's one thing we know about him, it's that he loves meat. You know he must have been really disappointed when he heard that Meatloaf was going to be on The Apprentice, and it turned out to be an actual man named Meatloaf. Who the hell is this? I can't put gravy on this man. I mean, I sure as hell will try. But yes, few places in America have seen a higher rate of coronavirus cases than meat processing plants. And although there doesn't seem to be a danger to the food itself, in most of these facilities, the workers are quite literally putting their lives on the line.
Processing plants can be a breeding ground for the virus because many workers spend their days side by side.
You're not talking about 200 people, you're talking about several thousand people.
We are very close. We can't use a social distance at that place.
One employee, concealing their identity for fear of retribution, tells us plant managers were asked why fewer employees were showing up, adding the virus was rarely mentioned, if at all.
People started being carried out of there, and so we were always asking our supervisors, basically, what is it that's going on here?
This notice for a $500 attendance bonus enticed employees to keep working.
The union representing workers says 1 month of requests for PPE were basically ignored. Employees tell us workers were given hairnets to use as face masks.
A hairnet? Come on, people, that is some bullshit. Workers were given hairnets to wear as face masks. Hairnets can't stop the virus. I don't even think hairnets can stop hair. I've eaten school lunch. And you know, it's really sad that these workers are being forced to keep the food chain going, but nobody's being forced to protect them while they do it. They need equipment to keep safe while doing their jobs. And if you eat meat, you especially should want these workers to be treated right, because without them, the only way you're getting bacon is if you fight the pig yourself. We all know how that's going to end. So, troubles at meat processing plants is one problem. But there's also another problem that's messing up the food supply chain right now, and that's distribution. Because with everyone locked down and eating at home, the food that used to go to restaurants and schools has now got nowhere to go.
Before the pandemic, by one estimate, 24 million cases of food were delivered every day to restaurants, schools, and large venues in bulk. And to repackage it for sale in grocery stores takes time and money. With restaurants closed, demand for butter and cheese has dropped significantly. Farmers who can no longer get their products to restaurants and other customers are discarding millions of pounds of fresh fruit and vegetables.
Bars and breweries tapping out, like Minnesota's Bauhaus Brew Labs, forced to dump 900 gallons of perfectly fine brewski down the drain as demand for draft beer dries up.
Damn, they had to dump 900 gallons of craft beer down the drain. Right now, all over America, fraternity house flags are flying at half-mast. Although it's not bad news for everyone. I mean, down in the sewers, the hipster rats are having the time of their lives. But these supply chain problems don't surprise me at all. I mean, of course, people don't eat the same way at home as they would in restaurants. Right? Nobody at home is like, you know what I could do tonight, honey? I could have a seafood tower. Why don't you bring out one of those triple-decker trays that we always use for the seafood? And this gap between what factories and farmers are producing and what people are now eating isn't just messing up the food chain in the United States. No, it's happening all over the world. In fact, it's gotten so bad that one country is calling on all of its citizens to help out in a special way.
Meanwhile, in Belgium, people are being asked to eat twice the amount of French fries, all in an effort to prevent food waste. According to research, Belgians already typically eat fries at least once a week. But potato farmers say if everyone doubles the amount of consumption, it could prevent nearly 750,000 tons of surplus potatoes from going to waste.
Wow. Belgians are being asked to help eat 750,000 pounds of extra French fries. And that seems like a challenge, but if they can borrow some weed from Amsterdam next door, they can knock that out in like a day, tops. And I'm not gonna lie, I get that this is a problem, but personally, being asked to eat more French fries, that would be my dream come true. Well, I mean, to give you the full story, my dream is that I'm eating extra French fries because J-Lo can't finish hers because she ate too many appetizers during our wedding's cocktail hour, and then she wants to save some room for cake. But that's basically the dream. It's close enough. But here's what I say. If Belgium can solve its food chain problems by asking people just to eat more French fries, then surely the United States of America can step up too.
America, we're going through difficult times. Disease, lockdown. They even delayed the new James Bond movie. Just looking forward to that. But if there's one thing this crisis has presented to Americans, it's a challenge that we're uniquely prepared to face. Food waste. All over this great nation, food that was supposed to go to restaurants and school cafeterias is being thrown away because we can't eat in such huge quantities anymore. But we can't? The hell we can't? This is the USA. Man, we the country that invented supersizing, hot dog eating contests, and fighting to the death over a fried chicken sandwich. We've been training for this crisis our entire lives. So America, I need you to join with me and stuff your faces like your lives and your country depends on it, because it does. USA! 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 USA!
Well, that's our show for tonight, but before we go, please remember that because the COVID pandemic has devastated communities around the world, the International Medical Corps is helping those communities rebuild and recover. But they need your help to do it. So if you are able to, and you would like to, please donate whatever you can. And if you'd like to support the response specifically at home here in New York, please donate to the NYC Healthcare Heroes who are providing care packages to our healthcare workers, hospitals, and temporary medical facilities. Until tomorrow, stay safe out there, wash your hands, and remember, if you defeat your roommate in combat, the living room is yours.